This is one of 6 webinars that Salmon College has put on in the last 2 days. There'll be another tonight at 7 o'clock. So if you have friends or family that have missed out, encourage them to come to that one. My name is Sherry Cummins, and I teach first year experience at the college. We have been producing these webinars because we wanted a chance to tell our students what fall is going to look like at San Juan College. And we wanted you to know that staff and faculty have been working really hard this summer to prepare to be able to give you quality education and services when you come back in the fall. It's been challenging, but I think most of us would agree that we've only gotten better as instructors and as professionals. What we've learned and how we can provide services for you, we're really proud of. I'm particularly happy because San Juan College's president, Dr. Toni Pendergrass, is here, and we would like her to say a couple words if she has something to tell us and our students. Thank you, Toni.
Thank you, Professor Cummins. First of all, I would just like to thank all of the professors for participating in this webinar today. I really appreciate it. Thank you for making yourselves available to answer questions from students. But I would just, we just want to answer any questions any of you have and make sure that you know that we're here for you, we care about you, we want you to be successful, we want you to achieve your goals. I also wanted to point out the scholarships through our San Juan College Foundation. So if you go to the San Juan College website, in the upper right-hand corner, there is a scholarship link where it says apply for scholarships. So please just click on that. It's a very quick, it won't take you very long at all to complete that. So if you could do that, I would appreciate it. And I'll just be here to answer any questions as well, just like our professors and staff members.
Thank you, Toni. So how today will run, we'll try and have you out in an hour. Each of the schools will talk a little bit about what delivery mode will look like from each school. So we'll hear from math and science and engineering, we'll hear from business, we'll hear from humanities, energy, and health sciences. And because we're all doing things a little bit different and we're all pretty excited about the things we've come up with. And then there'll be a time for questions. And at that time, you have the option of going into breakout rooms. We have breakout rooms for each of the schools, and we have a breakout room for advising, we have a breakout room for student activities, a breakout room for tutoring, and a breakout room for financial aid, the good stuff, the money. So if you want to save your questions till then, we can hook you up with whoever it is that can help you and answer the questions that maybe you've been wondering about all summer. And with that, I think we'll start with math, science, and engineering.
Thank you, Sherry. My name is Gerald Williams, and I'm professor of mathematics at San Juan College here, and I'd like to welcome all of our guests, all of our students, all of our staff, and our administration. Welcome to Dr. Pendergrass and Gail Dean. And I also wanted to introduce another faculty member from our science department, science school, who will be talking to you, Veronica Evans. She teaches biology, and she's going to give a second half of our science presentation. So, and of course, as I said, we're part of the School of Science, Math, and Engineering. And my time at San Juan College has been 25 years, and my total teaching has been 27 and a half years. I lived in Connecticut before here. And needless to say, the pandemic is something I've never experienced before in terms of education and the challenges that we face. But we in science and math and engineering want to share with you today a little about our plans for the fall and the options we have available. Needless to say, this transition to remote learning has been challenging, and I know students are experiencing this as well as our staff and other employees. It's a huge challenge, and for all of us, really, to some degree, the biggest issue, I think, one of the biggest issues is getting a handle on the unknowns. It's mystifying and a bit confusing, especially since it involves technology and access, and obviously we know that varies. My question as an instructor dealing with this was, how do you convert a traditional face-to-face class to a remote environment and maintain quality? In my classes, I have a lot of interaction with my students in my face-to-face classes. I'm writing notes, they're interacting, they're working problems, that sort of thing. And I see a couple of my students are here, so welcome. yet I had no expertise in Zoom. And so that was a learning curve. I've been on Zoom in terms of meetings, but not in terms of actually, hosting the meeting. So basically what I was able to do is I was able to make a combination of a Zoom and a document cam, and that seemed to work well. So what I want to do now is I want to show you that setup. So I'm going to share the screen just for a moment. And this is a setup that I have. So this computer, of course, is the one I'm talking to you on now, but the doc cam is hooked to this, so I can write on this doc cam and share notes and interactions with students and that sort of thing. So I want to show you a little bit about how that works. So let me next do this. Basically, you hook this up with you can connect this to your machine, and you can just go from one machine to the other. So, okay, so you see the this is the dot cam here. This is what a student sees. So I'm going to multiply 47 times 89 using what's called the lattice method. So essentially what you do here, you put a 4, 7 there, and then you do the same thing here. And you put the 8 and the 9. And then you draw these little diagonals and extend it down. And then you use your times table. 9 times 7 is 63. 8 times 7 is 56. 8 times 4 is 32. And then 9 times 4 is 36. And then you just add in the lanes. So 3, that's 18. So you carry the 1 over here. 7, 10, 11. Bring that down, carry the 1, you get 4. So 4,183 is the result. Okay, the point here, well, that's kind of a cool method for multiplying, but I also just wanted to show you, you see the writing there, and then of course students can engage and that sort of thing. The dot cam is used, so I write notes and that sort of thing, and then students can ask questions. Pencil and paper assignments are turned in. I give them those assignments, homework, and then they turn them in via uploading photographs of the assignments, and I let the students sort of upload it in whatever way is convenient. So that, of course, has meant that I had to learn a lot of different ways to convert things, but that works. I want to make it as easy for the students to upload things as they possibly can. And then online is our traditional format, online format, and where you log into a software application which provides an electronic book and video support, and your homework and tests are completed online. And then we have face-to-face. We have, in math science, we have about 10 that are live online, and then we have 62 online classes, and then we have some face-to-face classes, and then we have hybrids. We have about 7 face-to-face, and that's a traditional classroom where you just go like you normally would if we were not in a pandemic situation. And then we have the hybrid, which is some combination of face-to-face and online. One instructor, for instance, does online homework, but paper and pencil tests. Another instructor, everything is pretty much online, except they come in face-to-face, and they have they ask questions and that sort of thing. And then obviously we keep social distance. So if it's a full class, you have to meet in maybe 12 at one time and then 12 another part of the time. So some instructors are doing that. Those two, of course, will convert to online or live online in the event that we have to, if there's another shutdown in the fall for that. And all the faculty, of course, have experienced similar, the same thing as students. So you can do this. Don't shut off. Dip your feet in slowly if needed. Take 1 or 2 classes instead of no classes. In fact, we had one instructor who was very, shall we say, technologically challenged at first, but has really excelled in this environment and figured it out and has done really well. So you can do that as well. So please don't be afraid of that sort of thing. You can even be a student enrolled in another school. You're welcome to try a class or 2 here, and we can help you with all of that. So I urge you to please do not think that because the situation has happened with the pandemic that, San Juan College is not in business. We're in business. We have a lot of options here. And of course, we will go, we have online, live online to go if we shut down even. So please consider enrolling in a couple of classes more if you feel comfortable with that. And we welcome you. We have people here to answer your questions and so on. So now I'm going to turn it over to our science faculty person, Veronica Evans, who will tell you a little bit about their plans for the fall. Veronica?
Thank you, Gerald.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Veronica Evans, as Gerald mentioned. I teach biology, and I've been teaching for several years. And for science, We have several different methods that we plan to use, and kind of the same as most of the schools. Some of our classes will be completely online, and we've been doing online science courses for many years, for at least 15 years, and so we're really great at it and have a lot of ways to help you to be engaged, and some interactive activities, including like videos and news stories and discussions, and so some really fun things. I think a lot of our science courses are going to be live online, so meaning that you'll meet weekly on a Zoom meeting, and that's a really nice way to do a science class, because then if you have questions or if you want to do group work and interact with your other students, with your peers, then you'll get the opportunity to do that, and that's a really fun way. And then a few of our courses are hybrid. Now, of course, inside our science classes, one of the challenges we have is that we have labs that students need to be able to do. And so for these hybrid courses, they're usually being offered for courses where you can't really do the lab at home. And so, for example, for microbiology, where you're working with bacteria weekly, then you'll need to come to campus. And of course, we have all the precautions in place, and students will meet as small groups, and then they can do their lab assignments. For online or online live science classes, you might have a lab kit that you'll be buying, and those lab kits are made by San Juan College, and so they're very affordable. And they usually include a little bit of equipment like graduated cylinders and beakers and stuff, and then using equipment and things that you can find around your house or at the store, you could do your own experiment at home, and that seems to work good. And then some instructors have chosen to do virtual labs, and those are really fun because they're kind of video game-like. They have animations, and then you make your person do the laboratory experiment, and you walk through all of the steps that would be done inside the lab. And so I'm really excited about these new challenges, this fun way to give you guys new interactions and do things in new ways. And I think that we're going to be able to do a great job on delivering the content and keeping all of you guys engaged. And so I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in the fall. And with that, I think our next person is Murdoch from the School of Business.
Yes, thank you, Veronica. So hello, everyone. Again, my name is Murdoch Maloney. I've been teaching in the School of Business for about 15 years now. And a lot of those years have been in online instruction as well as face-to-face. And personally, I prefer the face-to-face courses because of the interaction that you have. And so over this summer, I've been working on ways to bring that interaction, a little more engaging things using a variety of tools in an online setting. And so that's what I wanted to do is share with you a little bit some of the tools that we have available that we'll be using in the online or live online classes in particular. So starting off here, you should all see a screen now that says micro lecture, and this is a pre-recorded lecture. And I've been using these for a number of years, and essentially I kind of boil these down to a particular topic. In one case, it might be about the organizational structure. I think in this case, it's about communication. And the nice thing about these micro lectures is that you can go back and watch them again and again, and just jump to certain sections if you're interested in certain sections there. Now, another benefit there is that you can control the speed. So if it seems like it's dragging on a little bit, you can actually speed that up, which is a nice little thing to do. One of the other things, and I actually put a link to this in the chat, and so this is called Padlet. And this is a tool that we can use to really allow students to collaborate together, to share ideas, to bring new information from whether it's YouTube or a newspaper or some other media, and you can actually clip it right in here and get thoughts and comments from other students and share your thoughts and comments with other students and their findings. So again, that's Padlet. Another thing that we're using quite a bit is we have a subscription to LinkedIn Learning, and they have this tremendous video library with a large number of business-oriented videos. And the really nice thing here is that we can go out and pick specific segments out of a bigger program. So this is Leading Without Formal Authority, and we can go in there, we can pick up just 2 and 3 or 5 minute segments that we really want students to focus in on and have them watch that. and then they can come back and have that discussion in class or on Padlet or some of the other tools that are available. Another tool that's really handy is essentially this is a survey tool, which in itself is not all that remarkable. But the nice thing is that these are easy to build, and we can get input directly from students on how well they've learned a given topic or just their opinions on a variety of contemporary issues going on in business. And the nice thing is that we can use this further with the responses that are highly graphical, and then we can add to the conversation and identify, why people are circling around a particular answer. So again, this is just another tool we can use to enhance the class overall. Another item that we use this is called Soft Chalk, and I want to look at this one first. Soft Chalk is a software package we can tie directly into Canvas, and it allows us to do lots of different activities. And one example right here is it's a vocabulary, and so it's a word search, and so all of these are business vocabulary terms, and it's just a matter of getting people familiar with using that vocabulary and recognizing that vocabulary. So that's a very simple one there. Again, it's just a reinforcement tool as opposed to assignments. Down here is a little bit different. This is a tool where we separate based on the primary term here, and we have a list, several lists. And the idea is that we enable students to go in here and pick which terms go with, in this case, economic measures. Okay. And so the different aspects of it, economic measures, GDP. Anyway, I'm not going to do the whole thing here, but the idea is that you'll just go back and forth and navigate through and set up all the appropriate terms associated with the primary factor. And so again, this is a really nice reinforcement tool and for any given lesson. Now, Soft Chalk also enables you to provide lots of text in there so we can add additional stuff. This one you might see is about online discussions. So online discussions is a really big part of classes today, whether it's a face-to-face class or online. And so we can actually give you additional information here of what the expectations are of certain assignments. In this case, it's about making the most of those online discussions. And through this, we can actually add in not only text, but lots of video and other, let's see, I'm trying to pull it up here, other activities. We can put in graphic pictures. We can have people select elements off those graphic pictures. We can put in videos from YouTube or pre-recorded videos, and again, put in exercises of a large variety. And I think all those things collectively help students, reinforce the information from that course. Another tool we can use is, this is called Kahoot. I know many of you are probably familiar with this, and it looks like I've already completed this challenge here. But it's one of those tools that you can use to, again, reinforce, but also bring a little competitive nature out of our students in who can answer the quickest and, of course, make the correct responses. So one of the other elements to keep in mind is that through this, we can also use a whiteboard. And in that whiteboard, this is not just for the instructor. All the students have access to this as well. And so when we put students in a chat room or a breakout room, they all have access to using this variety of elements, whether we're marking up a PowerPoint or an article perhaps, and students can annotate those articles and give all kinds of comments and so forth. So the nice thing is that once those students complete the little assignment, they can actually save this page and take it back to the bigger group out of the breakout session. So there really are a lot of tools, and one of the reasons I want to share all this with you is because we want to make sure students understand that it's not just about watching the instructor in a little talking head for an hour, hour and 15 minutes. There's a lot more of engaging activities that we get to do. So anyway, I better pass on my time. Let's see, I think we're going next to our humanities department. Let's see, is Nicole here? Or who is next?
I think we have Rachel and Andrea in the house.
All right, thank you.
I guess I'll start. My name is Andrea Cooper. I'm in the humanities. I teach anthropology. I'm also the liberal arts the faculty advisor. So if you're a liberal arts major I'll put my email in the chat, and so please email me. We can help you get set up for fall. I can look over your, what you've completed so far, what you need to take. If you are not a liberal arts major, that email me as well. I'm happy to help any students work on their schedules. I would recommend that you look at the school in WebAdvisor. Canvas has your classes. WebAdvisor is the official schedule, and that's where you're going to see if your class is online, which means you might have weekly assignments, but you don't have to meet in real time. And it says live online, then you'll have to meet at class time, and the times are listed. It'll just be a setting. If it just has the class times, then it's a face-to-face, and I believe it also will say hybrid. So that's where you know what kind of class. And don't hesitate to email your professors and ask questions. What does this exactly mean? We have a lot of different options in humanities, a lot of online courses. I do miss the interaction with the students, so 3 of mine will be live online. I do have a lab that I'll have to figure out how to work on that. I may do videos. There's online resources, sort of like Veronica was talking about. So all kinds of things that we have ready, you guys. So, and then real quickly, I wanted to say something about music. There will be all kinds of music classes offered. So that's band and choir, orchestra, African drumming, jazz. Some will be face-to-face with all of the safety precautions, social distancing, masks. They're working on that. They're planning on having in-person music events, but also online streaming events. So look for that. These classes are open to dual credit and community members as well. And they're also teaching several private lessons without every instrument imagined. So you could do a private lesson. And then there also are ACT classes in music. So really think about taking music, especially in these times of stress and uncertainty. I think music can really be a benefit to your health in general and just your happiness. So I think that's about it, and I'll turn it over to Rachel.
Thank you, Andrea. So I just want to say that we do have a lot of online classes that we're offering in humanities. We're offering a variety of different types of classes. Online is the most common that we're offering, though, for a number of reasons. One, we know that students, you need flexible schedules. And so online learning gives you that flexibility. You still, of course, need to meet deadlines, but you can work on the class largely at days and times that work for you. And that's one of the benefits of online learning. Your instructors, though, know that you may not be taking online classes normally, so they will often provide you with orientation at the beginning to teach you how to use Canvas if you've never used it before. So if you're afraid of online learning because you've never taken an online class before, I want to just put you at ease with that we know that it's difficult, we know that it's a challenge, and we'll make it as easy as possible for you and hopefully enjoyable so that maybe you'll take online classes in the future even when you don't necessarily need to as a result of COVID. The live online, I really want to tell you guys about that. That is a great option for you if you're really nervous about online learning and you want that extra support from your instructor. The live online is going to be the most similar to a face-to-face class. It's going to give you that face-to-face interaction with your classmates and with your instructor. And every instructor is going to teach it a little bit differently. For the most part, I think that we're all using Zoom for that live online because it integrates so well into Canvas. But if you have any questions about how the live online will work for a particular class in humanities, just put a little note in the chat box, and we can get you in touch with the instructor so that you can find the detailed information about how that will work. But the live online, your instructor will be able to explain things to you as they would in a face-to-face class. You'll be able to ask questions that get answers right away instead of having to send your instructor an email. So I really want to encourage you to look at those live online classes if you're interested in them. And Sherry, I'll pass it back over to you.
Lorraine, did you want to say a few words?
Yes. Hello, my name is Lorraine Begay-Matnavi, and I am the Navajo language instructor and also the Native Studies coordinator. I've been teaching Navajo language for 25 years, and I've taught at San Juan for 16 years now. And so I just want to share my screen here about our classes. So Navajo language is worth saving. I tell my students to know who they are as an individual, and all of us are unique in our own way. It is like a handprint. Nobody else has your handprint but you. That is why it's important that you speak your native language. We have stories our mothers, fathers, grandparents, and great-grandparents have shared with us. Don't be ashamed and move away from who you are. Don't let the language die out. The Nebezat is worth saving, and there's no other language like Navajo. The language is at a decline, and if we do not shift this decline, we will no longer know the stories, prayers, and teachings behind the 4 sacred mountains, the Hogan, and our traditional outfits, and so on. The Nebezat has a lot of humor. It builds character to speak your own language. It gives you your roots, establishes a relationship with your surroundings, the environment, songs, and prayers. And in the next slide, our Navajo language classes. Our class delivery for Navajo language classes are live online. The class will be meeting via Zoom. Students will be expected to attend class and participate in class activities during the scheduled class times and days. And we also have one online class, and the course materials we're using the Navajo Rosetta Stone software, and students may purchase the Rosetta Stone tag at the bookstore, and here you see a sample. And so they can buy this online or in person at the bookstore. Email the proof of purchase, username, and password to the instructor, and the instructor will register and set up student's account. Rosetta Stone app can be used on laptop, tablets, and on mobile phone. And these are some classes that are being offered. There are 4 classes that will be live online. I will be teaching 2 classes live online, and you'll see the days and the times. And we have 1 online class and also a Navajo 2 16-week course. I'll be teaching that, and also we have an 8-week course, a Navajo 2. And this course is for students who have completed Navajo 1 or has 2 semesters of Navajo in high school. Yeah, 2 semesters of Navajo in high school. And so these are the courses that are being offered. Native Studies, we have 3 courses in the fall. Native Studies degree program prepares students for future work in education, community outreach, human services, Indigenous rights, Indigenous communities, government, museum, state or national parks, and tribal parks. If you're still unsure about what you want to major in, consider Native Studies. Learn about Native American history, present, future, and maybe this will lead you to what you want to major in and as a career. And we have this fall, we're offering Navajo Culture, and this is face-to-face web combo, and is taught by Gilbert Brown, or Dr. Gilbert Brown. And we also have Navajo History and Introduction to Native Studies, and these are all face-to-face web combo. Students are all meeting in one room, which is 1743. So all of these 3 classes are meeting in one room on different days and times. So this is what we have for Navajo and Native Studies courses. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. And I think we have the health sciences up next.
All right, I guess I'm up. So first of all, I'll introduce myself in a second, but I just want to thank everybody, guests and potential students and everybody here for joining us during the noon hour. My name is Chris Sanders. I am the coordinator of physical education classes. These are kind of elective classes. So I'm going to do a little plug. If you need to fill in an hour to make up a schedule, check out what we got. I am also currently overseeing the phlebotomy program, and then I'm the supplemental instructor for our anatomy and physiology classes. So I help to provide instructional support for A&P. And also on the call here with me is Kelly, who is the amazing director of our awesome occupational therapy assistant program. There you go. And I don't know if there's anybody else from health sciences on the chat. I tried to look through. If you could please, if you're on the call, if you could please put your information in the chat, that would be awesome. Okay. So before I kind of get into all the health science stuff, I really just wanted to, I really am excited to be on this webinar and to have this opportunity in this platform because I just want to really express to the students here, to any parents of students, high school counselors, anybody here not affiliated with SJC, just how much, I'm going into my third year, I love this place, and just how much I enjoy being here. And the reason is because of all these folks, guys. They're just amazing, and we're all working so hard to provide the absolute best educational experience for our students, because everybody here embodies and embraces, the mission of the institution. We want to educate, we want to empower, our vision, we want to inspire success. And that's all rooted in our core values, the I CARE values: innovation, collaboration, accountability, respect, excellence. And I'm just excited. I'm also, the fact, all this creativity, all of this innovation, we're kind of in a negative situation right now with this COVID stuff, but you know what? It's making us better. It's making us have to adapt and evolve. And, honestly, I'm scared now because I got to raise my game because these people are doing so many great things in all of their classes. But, the great thing is we're like a family here. And so everybody's sharing ideas. And the bottom line is we are going to do everything we can to provide the absolute best educational experience. So listen, if you guys are excited as I am, if you're a student, if you're a potential student, if you're a parent of a student, if anybody that's not affiliated with SJC, I want you to get in the chat right now, and I want you to write excited. I want you to tell me exactly how excited you guys are. And if you are faculty, staff, people, administration, get in there and tell these students how much you guys love them. All right, please get in there, show the eye, show the love, fill that chat up. Come on, guys. Okay, and while you guys are doing that, I am going to share my screen here. I got a little PowerPoint. Oh yeah, there we go. I see the chat filling up. Come on, guys. Okay, so I would be doing a disservice if I don't do a little plug for my folks in health sciences, the amazing faculty and colleagues that I work with there. So if you don't know about our health sciences, this is our website, and I just want to kind of take you into and talk through just some of the programs. Okay, so as you students, potential students, you may not know some of the things that we offer there. Okay, we got an amazing dental hygiene program. We have a clinic right here on campus. You get all your clinical stuff done. An awesome EMS program. You can work your way through to being a paramedic. Maybe you don't like hands-on stuff. Maybe you don't like blood, but you want to work in the medical field. You're really good with computers. We have an all-online health information technology program. It's amazing. If you really like helping people, wow, we have some amazing stuff here. Our physical therapist assistant program, we have a nursing program. You can get a BSN through a collaboration with University of New Mexico, right here in the San Juan College classrooms. You don't have to go to Albuquerque. And I mentioned already our amazing occupational therapy assistant program. So if you like helping people, maybe one of these careers you might want to look into. Okay, we're in COVID, we have a lot of people in bad shape on ventilators. They're going to come out of it. We're going to get on the other side of this. And you know what? They're going to need therapy. And our respiratory therapy, that field is already blowing up, but it's going to be even more so in demand. Okay, surgical technology. Maybe you always wanted to be a surgeon, but you don't want to be in medical school forever. Great program. And then we also offer surgical first assist. So once you become a surg tech, that's the next level up. Okay? If you love working with animals, we've got one of the top online veterinary tech programs in the whole country. Okay. Also within health sciences, maybe you want to go on and get a 4-year degree. You want to become a doctor or maybe some other kind of allied healthcare, chiropractor, physician assistant. We have a basic medical sciences where you can get a lot of your foundational sciences courses finished. And then we have some faster, quicker programs. We have our fast track programs. These are usually about a semester long, about 8 weeks in the classroom and 8 weeks of like clinical. Like our CNA program, pharmacy technician, and phlebotomy. Just awesome stuff. Okay, so now kind of back to the core of what this webinar is all about. You know, how are we going to keep our students safe? Well, first of all, with health sciences, I mean, who knows better infection control than healthcare faculty? Our faculty and students, I mean, working in medical facilities and sites, they're always exposed. Okay, so our students, I mean, scrubs and masks are just like an everyday life thing. Okay, our students are in them all the time. Okay, so just outstanding, you know, and I want to speak to this from an institutional level. We have an entire team of individuals from across departments on campus that are assessing the situation. They've implemented all these controls and protocols. We've got more hand sanitizer stations. We've got new air filtration systems. We got mask requirements. We got temp checks. You know, honestly, our custodial staff, they go through and sanitize the rooms. That they have equipment where they actually measure like the microbial, how much microbial, you know, is on the different surfaces. I mean, it's amazing. So honestly, I feel more at risk walking into the grocery store. I do not feel at all. So if this is a barrier or you're concerned about this, I really think you shouldn't be, because we are taking every precaution possible, following all the CDC guidelines, all the governor's guidelines. So I just encourage you, don't let that be a barrier. Within health sciences, I mean, we're going to kind of do what everybody else is doing. A lot of our programs are already online, and we've also got hybrid programs and what that may look like, depending, again, I can't speak to every program, but it could be having students, part of the class coming in one day and the other part of the class coming in the other day. It could be, if you have a lecture lab, it could be lecture online and coming in for lab. Okay, there may be some online live classes. With the face-to-face, or if you're coming into labs, I mean, they're gonna be implementing social distancing, and then even temp checks using larger classroom spaces. If you're in the classroom, it's very likely that, you know, you'll have your own table to yourself to make sure that we're ensuring those social distancing. Okay? When we talk about some of the interactive and the cool things within some of these programs, we've got simulations and virtual labs, and within some of these professional programs, the accrediting bodies actually are adapting to the COVID environment. They are allowing some of these simulations and virtual labs to take place of actual clinical experiences. Okay, and speaking of our simulated lab, we have one of the best simulation labs around. We have mannequins that can throw up, you can take blood pressure on them. They can have heart attacks and seizures. We have a mannequin that can have a baby. I mean, it is incredible. You know, I just can't speak. You know, I've been affiliated with other universities as a student and an employee. I just can't speak to the level of cutting edge that we are here. I mean, we are on track, in my opinion, and I'm biased, but I think we're going to become the #1 two-year school in the country. I think we'll get there. And we might already be right there, right? So just awesome. I'm excited. Within some of our programs too, some of the things they do with students, they may have students upload videos of skills. I know some of the different health science programs have like virtual, they have software where students can kind of walk through like case studies and stuff. It's sort of like a video game almost. It's pretty cool. So listen, if you're interested, if you're not yet a student, guys, what are you waiting for? Okay, call admissions, get in touch with them, 566-3320. Okay, You know, maybe there's some barriers, there's some things you're concerned about, you're nervous about. Well, maybe, you know, I mean, we're in uncertain times right now. Maybe it's financial, maybe it's childcare, maybe it's connectivity. Guys, we have resources here that we can help you. We can help you. If you're like me, I'm kind of math and like physics and chemistry phobic. Guess what? We have an amazing tutoring center with awesome people that can help you work through those things. So I encourage you, the time is now, because listen, you know, we're going to come out on the other side of this COVID stuff. And when we do, when you've got that education behind you, wow. Okay, we're just going to be able to make the community and the region so much stronger. And when those, you know, fill all those jobs and things. So listen, the best investment you will ever make is in yourself. And I so totally believe that, especially education. You know, you can lose your car, you can lose your house, but you can never lose your education. So I really encourage, you know, whatever barriers or things that you're concerned about, reach out to us, because we know there is no other institution I've been affiliated with that goes so many, like the extra mile for the students. And we're, you know, we were here to help you. If you're a current student, and I've kind of hyped you up about our health science programs, I encourage you to reach out to Miss Eileen Salazar, our health sciences advisor. Here's her number, 566-3013, or you can email her. Okay. So lastly, you know, I'd like to just kind of challenge everybody right now. Listen, faculty, staff, students, potential students, I want you guys to go out and tell everybody about all the exciting things that are going on here, all the creativity, all the innovation that are going to be in the classroom. Go out on social media, tell your family, your friends, your dog, your cat, everybody. All right. You know what I would love next week if I get an email from admissions, if I get an email from financial aid, I get an email from advising, and they're like, Chris, what did you do? Because we just can't keep up. We're getting so many inquiries. So I challenge everybody, if you can do that for me, staff, faculty, students, potential students, parents of students, please get in the chat and type a big yes, big capital letters. That would be awesome. Anyway, I just want to thank you. Kelly, do you want to add anything?
I think you said it all. I want to sign up now for every health science program. I want to go back to school, Chris.
So I'm
Good
just excited,
job.
I'm energetic, and you know, it's a great segue because we're going to be going to the School of Energy right now. So I will pass the baton.
Kim, are you ready to follow that? You're muted. Does that mean you're not ready to follow? While we're waiting to see if we're going to hear from Tim or not, Amanda, do you want to say a few words?
Yeah, Tim, you're muted. If you unmute, you can have the floor. Oh, there you go. All right, so I just want to share something really quick. I'm Amanda Robles, Director of Student Engagement and Campus Life here at San Juan College. And one of the questions that I receive is, what about the college experience? What about the student life? So I just wanted to share really quickly that this is all going to be happening with our fall events. Sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties. We are going to have SJC Campus Live. We are going to be doing a variety of things. We're going to be doing drive-in and drive-through events, remote activities, and virtual activities. You guys can check our website, and we have all of our student events and our clubs listed. At San Juan College, we have 24 active clubs, and they are all currently planning their fall event. So they'll be offering you online, remote, and different ways that you can interact with the club. We also are going to be doing some awesome Welcome Week activities. And if you're a new student to San Juan College, I want to invite you to First Year Friday on August 21st at 7 p.m. We have a really special gift for you, and we're going to have a drive-in event that will lead everyone and all students and staff. You are invited to our first ever SJC drive-in game night. So we'll be playing a lot of games. You guys will be on your smartphones in your vehicles, and we're going to have some awesome technology outside to keep track of scores and things of that nature. So I hope you'll join us. And we'll have our student rush where everyone can meet all of our clubs and departments on August the 26th by a flip grid. So the same technology your instructors are using, we're going to use that to have some fun together. Flipgrid, Kahoot, Zoom, and things of that nature. So again, Sherry, thanks for just letting me, talk about student life and all the fun. If any students are interested, come to my breakout room. I have some scholarships and some open positions on our campus activity board. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think Tim is in the house.
I'm back.
All right.
I'm Tim Ulrich. I'm a process technology instructor here at the School of Energy. And I thought I'd give you a brief tour of our facility here today. So here we go. Can everybody see it?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So we have about 6,000 square feet of facility in here. Over here in the corner, we have the mechanics group. They're doing some work on an 8-stage centrifugal pump. I'm in the IPOP program, which is over here. But let me stop here and we'll look at some of these cutaway valves. We have all this hands-on equipment here in the IPOP program. Our students start out on these modules. So they'll start out on Plan A. I can't see what I'm doing here. So this Plan A, this is not controlled from a control room. This is all hands-on. And then they move through the different modules. Module F is a neutralization plant. We've got some work going on over here with our mechanics group. They're repairing a valve. So all the process water we produced here, we neutralize before it goes to sewer. So it meets specifications. We have a fixed bed reactor. In this process, we hydrolyze sucrose to glucose and fructose, and our students optimize that process with different retention times, flow rates, you name it. Here we do an extraction of basically vinegar from mineral oil, and they optimize that process as well. They have to control levels in towers, operate pumps, valves. We have a high purity water system where we produce all the water that we use for each of our processes. We have a little miniature refinery here. This is module E. And then at the end of the program, they produce electricity at a steam turbine over here. So at the end of the program, they've gone through all these modules, and they can troubleshoot, operate, and control all these systems. We have a full service water lab where they do all the necessary tests to run each of the different modules. So our titration stations, we have spectrophotometers, we have a high purity water system in here, polarimeters, analytical balances, and then of course the control room. So with the exception of module A, all of these units can be run remotely from the control room. So I know we're running out of time, so I wanted to keep it brief. But that's what we do over here in the Industrial Process Operations program. Thanks.